Alright, so in episode 1, we announced the start of Project Longhorn, and that we would be using the BMW S85 V10 engine in this project. Well, in this episode, we're actually going to show you how we're going to make that engine fit in this car. So we're going to go into a little bit of final disassembly. We're actually going to go into some 3D scanning. We're going to 3D scan the engine bay and 3D scan the motor itself. And then finally, we're going to compile it all together in the computer and just get a visual reference on a good starting point and what it's actually going to look like. So while this is the final engine that will be going in the car, it's missing some key components that we need for any final mock-up. So to help us out with any missing parts and to just get us a little bit more familiar with the engine, we thought what's better than one S85? And that's two S85s.
The story on the M5 is kind of a long one, but I'll summarize it pretty quickly. The car belongs to a good friend of mine, and since last year, the car actually has not been running. The car can't really drive. So once I learned about this, I kind of pitched him an offer that if he would let me use the car, that I would help figure out what was wrong with the car, get it fixed up and running, and in return, I would use the car basically as a testing platform and also to kind of help me learn the platform a little bit more. So we agreed on that, took delivery of the car, actually got it running pretty quickly. It was kind of a combination of things that failed. When it initially came in, it was only running on bank 2, so all of bank 1 was not firing. It was kind of a domino effect of things that had failed. Basically, the car was overfueling on bank 1, which had fouled the lambda sensor and fouled the spark plugs. So we replaced the injectors, put in new spark plugs, and put in a new lambda sensor. After all that, the car had fired right up. No more misfires. The car was running on all 10 cylinders again. We now have a running and driving M5 that we can use for all of our development and use pretty much as a baseline for the E46.
So the first thing that we'll be doing is we're actually going to disassemble the factory engine harness that came with the motor that we bought. Now the reason that we're going to be doing this is we're going to utilize most of the factory sensors on the engine, as well as we're keeping Vanos. So to learn a little bit more about the electrical side of things with that engine, we're going to disassemble the factory engine harness and reverse engineer that a little bit and just get some documentation on it. But adding on to that, I wanted to announce that with the help of my friend Timmy at Motorsport Electronics, Mick, and a handful of other people alongside of Cosworth, that we will be using the entire Cosworth electronics package in the BMW. We will be using the Cosworth SQ6 M12 ECU. We will use the IPS 32 PDM, as well as the Cosworth dash and a couple other little goodies. I'm super excited to have them on board with helping out with this project and getting us going. But for the time being, let's continue disassembly and get the car a little bit more prepared, as we still have quite a while before we start putting any electronics in this thing. All right, so we got most of the interior cleaned up, got the seats out, the dash out, got all the old wiring out, which is atrocious, and I am so glad that it's out of the car. It's extremely heavy as well. I cannot tell you how much it weighs, but it is a lot. Got the old brake booster and the ABS pump out, and I went ahead and quickly cleaned up some dirt and oil that was left over in the engine bay, got out all the old heat tape that was in there. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to prep the engine bay to be 3D scanned, and hopefully it'll just be enough to give us kind of a reference on what we're gonna have to cut out to fit the engine as far back as we need it to.
All right, so before we get to scanning, we're actually going to use some dry shampoo and these tracker dots to help us get a little bit of a better scan. Not looking for perfect, but really just enough to get some measurements off of.
All right, so everything that we just did for the engine bay, we're gonna do the exact same thing to the actual motor, minus the dry shampoo just because it's messy, and honestly, I don't wanna clean it off. So we're gonna go ahead and just clean up the motor a little bit, put the 3D trackers on it, and then give it a quick scan so we can mesh the two together and see what we have to cut out.
Here is the engine bay scanned and put into the computer. Then once we got the motor scanned, we put that in there as well. And here is a good visual on how far back we're actually going to put the engine. So as you can see, it's pretty far back. It's right behind that front subframe and in line with those strut towers on the front crank snout. We're going to have to cut out quite a bit on the firewall, definitely remake that. But this is a great visual on what it's actually going to look like in the car. Here we just took a 3D file of an 8 HP transmission just to get a size reference for when we do have a transmission on it. Coming back over to the front, we can see the first issue that we're going to have is the alternator colliding with the steering shaft. I actually took a second 3D scan of the engine with everything taken off on it and no accessories, and there's plenty of room. We'll of course just have to relocate the alternator. Plenty problems ahead, but it is pretty exciting to actually see what the engine's going to look like in the car.
All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do is actually scope out the cylinders. So we're gonna use a borescope and inspect each cylinder on the engine. This is a used engine. It sat for many years. It has been run before. I just want to make sure that the cylinders are in good condition. These cylinders are very sensitive as they have a special coating inside them. So if there's any nicks, scratches, or large grooves in it, it's basically done for the block. So before developing any more on this engine or putting any new parts on it, I want to verify the condition of the cylinders, because if I have to take care of anything now, I'd rather do it now, as I have a lot more to do on the car versus figuring out that the block is toast right before we put the engine in. So let's quickly take care of that and then we'll wrap it up. Not bad. Yeah, it's oil from the valve covers. I think it's fine. This one's good. I mean, of course it's gonna be dirty, but this is number 2. See, there's like that.
Oh no, those are fun.
Yeah.
Those, yeah, I've seen videos like where they go into the cylinder afterwards and you can't feel them with your nail. It's just like slight debris scratch.
All right, let's do 3. It looks fine, right? Hold on. This one also has some of that. The lines. Turn it. I mean, they're dirty. I'm obviously more focused on the cylinder wall than the pistons. Okay, this one's good. And this is number 5.
It's better than the other ones.
Yeah, I think it's just oil. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. And the heads are looking fine too. So is this 6? This one looks good. I don't want to touch the valve. Next one's 7. Yeah, this one looks fine as well. I just make sure there's no pitting or contact or anything.
That's a...
Yeah, this is 8. I mean, it's not like detrimental, but this one also looks fine. There's nothing to be worried about. This is 9. This one has the worst one. Look. I wouldn't say that's bad though. That's just a debris score. This is number 9, or no, number 10.
Base.
Look, that's the worst one. That's what I was looking for, is stuff like that. I think it's good. Oh. All right, this is gonna be short and sweet because I have a flight to catch in like 6 hours, but thank you for watching episode 2 of Project Longhorn. We got a lot more done this time, especially with getting the engine bay and the engine 3D scanned. That helps out a lot, getting all that into the computer. Hopefully by the next episode, I'll be a little bit better at computer work and getting some CAD stuff made. Maybe just design some engine mounts or the transmission mounts to help us get us a little bit further on the chassis. The next episode is going to come out just a little bit slower, just because I have a lot of traveling to do. We still have a lot of work to do. If you guys have any questions or anything specific you want to see an episode about, let me know down below. I'll read through everything that you guys have to say, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Project Longhorn. I gotta change the battery on this. It's This used to be a lot easier to do. Oh.